All right, we are going to create a game called Tunnel of Doom. So go ahead and create a new uh, project in Scratch by clicking that Create button from the home page. I already clicked it, so that's why I'm here. Let's name this. Again, always your last name in the file. I'm going to do TOD for Tunnel of Doom, but you could write Tunnel, something so you'll know what game this is when you are creating it. We are going to use the cat for this game, so go ahead and name the cat instead of Sprite1 that it is currently named. Let's go ahead now. We're gonna start by, before we start coding the cat, we're gonna make our maze. So let's go ahead and create the maze by hovering over choose a sprite and choosing the paintbrush. This is gonna be easiest for this step if we make it a bitmap. So if it says convert to bitmap here, click it. If it says convert to vector, you're in the right spot. So mine says convert to bitmap, so I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna take my paint bucket. I'm gonna choose a color. I'm just gonna leave it purple, that's fine with me, and dump paint in this. And then in order to make the maze, I'm just going to erase from this sprite right here. But before I forget, let's go ahead and name this. We'll just call this maze over here in the sprite editor area. I'm going to choose my paintbrush. I've got a size of 60. That should be pretty good. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to erase this maze, erase this background color, and just start drawing a path through the maze. You may have to end up, depending on what you do here, you may end up having to go back and make this maze a little bit thicker. I'm going to go ahead and erase this here. So basically, the cat's going to start in the upper left and have to end with the goal in the upper right. And again, I may have to end up making this maze slightly bigger once I end up controlling it or having the cat go through it. All right, let's click back on the cat and go through what we want to happen here with our cat. So let's go and make sure that we're in the code area. We're going to do when green flag is clicked. We're going to do a set size to 20%. And I'm going to go ahead and click that right now and just see what that looks like for the, I'm going to temporarily hide this. That's pretty good. Maybe a little small, but we'll go from there. All right, staying in the cat code area, we're going to set size to 20%. We want to make sure it appears in front of anything that's on the screen. So we're going to do go to front area. And we want it to go to this upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out a go to XY block right here. And I'm going to have it go to X negative 210. So that's towards the left, all the way towards the left of the screen. And I want it to appear in the upper left. So I'm going to do a higher number on the Y. So negative is going to be the left, positive is going to be up to the corner there. Let's see where we end up here. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and fix this problem right now. You can see that the maze is off center a little bit. So let's just go ahead and go to the maze right now and click when green flag clicked and bring out a go to XY and make it 0 and 0. This will be sure that every time we start the game, the maze is centered. So now you can see where the maze is at. All right, going back to the cat. Let's continue with the code for the cat at the moment. And we're going to bring out a wait until block, not the wait block, wait until. That's got the little hollow diamond here. And we're going to go to sensing, and we're going to say wait until touching mouse pointer. So the cat is saying wait until I'm touching the mouse pointer. Don't do anything until that. Now we need a repeat block. So bring out a repeat until block, repeat until. Okay, repeat until touching tunnel. So we're going to go to the sensing here. Basically, the cat is going to follow, or touching maze, excuse me. The cat is going to follow our mouse around. We're not going to use the arrow keys or anything like that. We're going to use the mouse. And then repeat until touching the maze. So until I'm touching the maze, do the following. And we're going to put in go to mouse pointer. So under motion, we are looking for a go to right here. Grab this go to random position and make this mouse pointer, go to mouse pointer. So if I hit start, okay, if I move my mouse around, nothing happens. But as soon as I touch the cat now will be stuck to my mouse until it touches the maze, at which point it gets stuck there. I told you I hate these. So looking at my maze right now, I may decide I need to make it a little larger. But basically, if I don't touch the sides, it will go. But the problem right now is the mouse gets stuck to the side and the game sort of ends here. So we're going to fix this coming up in the next part of the code. But we want to play a sound when we touch the maze. So let's go to Sounds and go to the Sounds tab. Actually, you don't need to go to Sounds, but go to the Sounds tab. And meow is a choice that is there for me already. If it's not there for you, just go ahead and click Choose a Sound and start typing in the word meow. Okay, so you have a couple different ones here. Pick whichever one you like. I'm just going to go with the one that's in there. And then in the code, I'm going to bring out play sound, meow, until done, and put that here. So now if I run the code again, as soon as it hits the maze, it ends up going there. But I don't want it to be stuck. I want it to go back to the start, basically, and keep trying to finish the maze. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring out a forever block. I'm going to take all of this code, starting in the go to XY block, okay, and I'm going to eventually put it into this forever, excuse me, this forever block right here. So I'm going to put this code in the forever block and then put this here. And let's see what happens if we do that. So notice what's happening now. Instead of it just being stuck in the maze, it will go back to the start, and I can go grab it again and keep trying to get it going. Eventually, we're going to put a timer on here so that we can see who does it the fastest, and we'll do that here in just a second. All right, but now what we need is we need a goal. We're going to put something over here on the right that the mouse or that the cat is going to touch in order to win the game. So let's add a new sprite, and we're looking for a home button. So start typing in the word home, and here's the home button right here. Okay. So let's add a little bit of code to the home button right now. So when green flag clicked, we're going to do set size to 50%. That'll be a good size for our house, our home button, and we're going to move that over here. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that it stays there the entire time. So once we move it here, take a look at your X and your Y value here, okay? And you should notice now that this go to XY block matches those values. So go ahead and put that right there. So this way, every time we start the game, the home button will end up over on the right there. But now we need to code the cat so that it knows when it has won the game. So we're going to click back on the cat, and we're going to add some code here. So let's grab an if-then block. Make sure it's just if-then, not if-then-else. So let's go to sensing. We want to say if it touches the home button. So grab touching and change it from mouse pointer to home button. What we want to happen is we want to stop the game because we just won the game. So let's go to Control and find the stop code and change that to other scripts in the sprite. We want to let the game know that we've won the game, so we're going to broadcast a message. So click the events and click broadcast and create a new message. The new message should be well done. Click OK. We want to play a winning sound, so let's go into our Sounds tab and add a new sound and do a search for guitar chords. Okay, you've got a bunch of choices here, but there's a couple of different guitar chords. So pick one you like. I'm just going to do the middle one right there. And then in code, I'm going to go to sound, and I'm going to play sound, guitar chords until done. And then another stop action. And I'm going to play stop this script. And we are going to put this in the repeat until, right under where it says go to mouse pointer. This code should go right in there like that. Now, I don't want to try to get all the way to the end of the maze because I'm terrible at this. So I'm temporarily going to drag this XY block away, and I'm going to move my home button right here. So the game's really easy to finish. So I just want to test to make sure that it works. So I'm going to click that. So there you go. Now I'm going to put this back. I don't even need to. I can just click this again. Since I have to go to XY there, I am good. All right, one thing that's fun to do with this game is to add a timer to it so that people can see how fast they got it done. So we need to create a variable. So we're going to make a variable called time and make sure it is for all sprites. Go ahead and click cloud variable because we may be able to do something with that later. Okay, so now in the cat, let's go ahead and add another when green flag clicked. Let's, under variables, we want to set the time to 0. So whenever we start the game, we want the timer to be set to 0. And then we want the timer to count up. So we are going to bring in a forever block. And we're going to say every 1 second that passes, increase the timer by 1. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a wait block in, wait 1 second. And then under variables, change time by 1. So this says as long as the game is running, every 1 second increase the time by 1. I'll move the time count over so it's not in the maze. So if I hit play, notice the timer is counting up right here. Now what I'm going to eventually need to do is make sure I tell the timer to stop. So let's add a new sprite. We're going to do paintbrush for this. I'm not going to do this part for you. I'm going to put some of the code in, but you're going to go ahead and make some sort of screen for you win. So let's call it you win or something like that. Name that sprite this. You'll end up putting in some shapes or whatever you want, sort of like we did for the superhero project. I'm going to let this be one of the things that you figure out how to do. But I am going to help you with some of the code right here for this. So what we want for the code for the you win screen, we're going to bring out a you when green flag clicked. We're going to hide it at the start. And we're going to want it to be dead center on the screen. So we're going to go to XY 0, 0. And then what we want is we want it to know when to appear. So we're going to bring out a when I receive. Well done. We want it to show. We want it to go to the front. And then we want to do something fancy with it right here. So we're going to put in a forever block. And under looks, find the change color effect. And we're going to make that by 20. And that'll do something cool to your game. I think that you will really enjoy it. All right, in the home button, so we've got this. In our maze, we have when green flag click, go to 0, 0. Let's make our maze look kind of cool. So let's add something here, kind of like we just did to the you win screen, which again, you need to make the you win screen. So I'm going to go forever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that change color effect here. And again, by 20 is good. And let's watch what this does. It's kind of cool. So it'll kind of make our thing go like that. It's a little kind of crazy. What if I do it by 10? Still kind of nutty. But you get the idea with that. So you can play around with those values right there. One last thing I want to do is I want to make the maze itself, which is just plain white, look a little bit more interesting. So we're going to do this on the stage. Don't do this in the maze itself. You've got to do this in the stage, otherwise you will screw it up. So click on the stage and then click on backdrops. And then it doesn't matter if you're on convert to bitmap. If you see that here, that's what you want. We want to be in the vector for this. That's going to be the easiest for this. So first of all, click the rectangle. Then what I want you to do is choose this second option right here, which will make a gradient, and then pick 2 colors that are different than your maze. So my maze is purple. I don't want to pick anything in the purple family for this next one right here. So I've got green, and click on the other square. I'm going to pick like a yellow for that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, with the box selected, I'm just going to draw a big box like this. I don't really like how that looks. It's not different enough, so I'm going to undo that. So I'm choosing colors that are different than my maze, but those 2 colors are too close to each other. So let me do like a blue, like a light blue like that. That's beautiful right there. Okay, now I draw and see how it kind of changes from green to blue, and see how that appears behind the maze right there like that. So that's perfect. We're going to add just one quick piece of code to the stage here. Again, make sure you're on the stage. So when green flag clicked, we're just going to have it go to X, Y. Oh, we don't even need to do that for this. Because it's a stage, it's always centered. Never mind what I just said. So we are good with that. So if I preview now, it's kind of giving me a headache. So you may want to play around with the change color effect in the maze because that is obnoxious. But have some fun with it. Make sure you laugh, have a good time. All right, so enjoy. I can't wait to see what you do.